Before we start, another big thank you for 10,000. And I'd like to say that these winners were all picked using our handy dandy wheel generator, but I got over 70 submissions and I'm only doing 5 drawings in this vid, so I might make a part 2 later. But again, please don't be upset if you didn't get picked. This vid is probably the one of the longest vids I've made, so I hope you guys enjoy it. First up is Fun Art Goa. Their art was very fun to draw, and it had a lot of strong elements without being too detailed, and it was a really great start to the challenge. I mentioned this in the post, but I'm going to sprinkle in some coloring tips for you guys during this vid. So here's my first one. When I'm coloring or rendering skin, I usually pick between a cooler or warmer color palette. For example, since the ock in this drawing has a lot of warm colors like orange, I'll use warmer colors like a warm pink, orange, and red when shading. But if the ock had cooler colors like blue, I'd do the opposite, and instead use cooler pinks, purples, and blues. This isn't always the case, but it helps me a lot. Next up is JoJo Gym 1-3's character Cloudy. I love their character's hair so much. Cloud hair is always really fun to draw, and I like her personality. She seems really fun. My next tip is that although I use fully saturated colors for the skin, for the inner part of it, I'll add a desaturated color, which is usually a blue or purple. This is one of the only times I use desaturated colors. Next is Shadow Sup. Their character has some really nice colors and they mix well together. Another really fun character to draw. The next tip is that when I'm shading hair, I'll usually add other colors to the mix, so instead of just using different shades of one color, I'll move around the color wheel. And next up is Artaholic Me. I had a bit of trouble with finding out what the outfit was at first, and I think I got it wrong, but I hope it's not too bad. I wanted to try a different expression for this one. And my tip is that when you're coloring, try to set your character apart from the background. This can count for character design too, but most of the time you want your character to be the main focus, and to do that I suggest either making the background bright and your character dark, or the opposite of that. This can also be done with lighting. And finally, last but not least, Random World YT. I'm sorry, but I honestly couldn't think of another tip for you guys since I think coloring is really style specific, so I won't want to give you guys too many tips that only apply to my preferences lol. And since this video is coming to its end, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you again for 10,000 subs. Here is all the art I made for this. Thank you to everyone who joined, and thank you for watching till the end.